Yeah. Hey, this that special sauce. Spill that drip, I wipe it off. $1 million worth of game. Can't feel that I work too hard. Poetry all in these. What's good? What's good? It's your boy Dope Boy Diesel back in the motherfucking Doja room once again for a little bit of a wake and bake stream. Now, real quick, I gotta make sure because the last couple of times I've been having a little bit of technical difficulties. Yeah, me. So we just gotta make sure that we firing on all cylinders right now. That's all. We just got to make sure that we firing on all cylinders. I gotta make sure. Okay, boom, boom. I just got to make sure that y'all can hear me live and direct, loud and clear. Yeah, what's good to all my stoners, hippies, and hip hop enthusiasts? I'm sorry. Welcome to the fucking Doja room. I'm trying to multitask a little bit. Welcome to the Wake and Bake stream. Good morning. Yeah, it's your boy Dope Boy Diesel. I'm just here. I got a couple of topics to spit with you guys. Usually during the Wake and Bake stream, I'm just sitting here, I'm just yapping or just playing some games and just gaming up in the morning. Because this is I'm a night worker, so I don't got to do the morning antics. You know what I'm saying? The whole waking up early and I don't got to do all of that. So right now, what I got to do, all I have to do this morning is take this coffee and take this blunt after I finish rolling it, of course, and have a great morning with you guys. You know what I'm saying? It's a pleasure to always be here. Real quick, if I haven't told you guys already, please stop into our playlist. Our playlist is called Melodic Ice, the Melodic Ice playlist. You can find those links on my pages, the Diesel's Doja links to that playlist. All of them are on Spotify. We only rock with Spotify. I'm sorry, we only rock with Spotify. But yeah, please, if you fuck with Drake, if you fuck with the artists I fuck with, Tory Lanez, go down to Giveon, me, my boy Fly High Drew. There's a bunch of niggas and people who's gonna be dropping music and stuff like that who've tapped in with me. And when their debut drops, please, if you got a project debut, and tap in with me. Let's write a little review for you. Let's get you on the playlist. Like, I want to build an economy and a place that hip hop can thrive. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you are a Kendrick fan, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to if you know who you are. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's even though we get we go hard on the Stan Wars shit, you know what I'm saying, over here, it's still love for hip hop first at the end of the day. So we're gonna continue to spread love in a hip hop way. So let's break down some of these topics. First and foremost, this is the Wake and Bake stream. I am smoking on some cookie crumble today. Yeah, and so if you haven't already, roll your blunt up. To all my stoners, hippies, hip hop enthusiasts, roll that blunt up. Let's get right. This is the Doja room, so come on, do it right. Now, as I always say, if it's time for you to go into work and sit your ass down somewhere, get back to flipping them burgers or doing whatever the fuck you doing this morning, whether you typing on the computer, whatever, nigga, I don't know. But get your ass back to work. The niggas who don't gotta work right now, we chilling. But y'all should always be grinding, you know what I'm saying? And if you can't handle this strong at a time like this and you got to smoke a little bit later on in the day, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But let's get on to some of these topics, because it's been so much going on this past couple of weeks that I felt like we should just hop into what's been going on. Now, you really can take your pick, but we're going to start with actually, let's start, because I actually just wrote an article. It's doing pretty well. And this article is, did Haley Bailey cheat on DDG? This is the question that we are wondering. Okay, it's the question that we are wondering. Now, you can go on to my page and hop into my article section and check out this article in full. You can check out this article in full. But I just find it funny. Right now, DDG is facing a lot of backlash or whatever is going on with him. He's going through it right now because once again, um, there's angry black women on Twitter who are wishing death upon the man. What did DDG ever cheat on Haley Bailey, Holly Bailey, whatever her name is? Did he like what happened? What exactly happened to make people hate this nigga so much? Like I'm trying to put the pieces together as I, dive into doing this article. Had me do a little bit of a dive into their relationship and do a little bit of my due diligence when it comes down to their relationship. But I don't necessarily see, from what I've seen, I don't necessarily see where people just like, they were just like, you know what, fuck this nigga. I don't necessarily see where that part came. Because these bitches hate DDG. I don't know what he did. They hate him. They want him to die. And it's crazy how you could actually, love a child or fuck with a child and at the same time not want them to have a father, a young black child at that, a young black man. Why would you wish for a young black man not to have a father? So I digress though, but there's a lot going on with DDG. Apparently, these are some rumors that are circling around because we have, Halle Bailey being caught in St. Lucia with Brent Fires. Now, we already heard some whisperings of the two of them having some type of romantic relationship. We already heard some whisperings of the two of them, kind of being closer, a little too close in the past. As I mentioned in this article, the whispers started all the way back in 2023. Let's see. They were getting too friendly at some night out with the sister posted a story. It was like a little post and delete. And that really kind of made people start wondering what exactly is going on there. Maybe they were going through, like, I don't know, a phase where they weren't really fucking with each other or whatever the case may be. Maybe they were not seeing eye to eye in particular at that time. But, and I'm going to be honest, Holly Bailey never struck me as the type of woman to like really step out and do something like that. Like, she didn't really strike me with that energy. But I got to tell you guys, as I always say on this show, you never put it past a woman to do some crazy shit like this. Never put it past a woman to cheat. Never put it past a woman to like just throw you for a loop like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You might think, oh, she's the Little Mermaid. She's she would never. But I just don't put it past women, which is why we're asking this question in this article, which has since, some people have, it seems, made up their mind on, that whole situation and how it went down and what happened. But here, let me just say, I'm simply asking the question. And I will have a read-along version for you guys who don't like reading. Okay, so you guys can just listen. But yeah, for now, check this out. I think this was a pretty interesting article, and it's just a little something to start a conversation. What do you guys think was because they seemed like they were pretty close. They seemed like they were pretty all right. What do you guys think exactly was the issue between these guys? Do you guys think it was the fans getting to them? Like, do you guys think the fans worked their way into these people relationship and kind of fucked it up? because I think that might be a strong possibility. I think, you know, the constant attacks and slandering and like I said, I don't maybe I have some type of recency bias, or I'm just not privy to everything. But what did this nigga do? What did this nigga do for you niggas to hate him so much? I just don't get it. I really don't. Yeah, I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything that serious that can make you hate a nigga so much. But apparently, when it comes down to these ladies, there is. Now, I just don't think with y'all having a son and shit like that. I don't know. It seems a little weird, but the woman is she has the right to step out and be with other people. But it just seems a little bit weird. Like, I don't know. Like, what we're really trying to find out is if she always had little homie on the side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Brent Fires, like I said, Brent Fires is my guy. He's my guy. But if she really stepped out on homie like this, I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. That's tight fucked. That's tight fucked. Now, as a man, as Brent, you can't even be mad at the homie because, I mean, if your bitch gonna be stepping out, if your bitch gonna be out here in these streets, y'all can't be mad at these niggas. And I see way too many niggas crashing out. Like, why do y'all niggas? And let me just say, I commend DDG because there's plenty of niggas who could crash out. There's plenty of niggas who would crash out over the same type of shit. There's niggas who would be crashing out, crying like a bitch, telling her to come back home, trying to repair and fix a relationship that clearly, you know, it's just not working out. Like, it's not about to happen anymore. He took the player route. My boy started locking in, started doing them studio streams, and he said, yo, fuck the noise, fuck niggas, you know. And I'm not gonna hold you. At this point, it almost got to be discussed, but let me just finish this point. He said, fuck the noise, and I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna drop this music, some viral ass streams, drop some banger ass songs, and I'm gonna have a bunch of bad bitches around me, a bunch of bad bitches with me. We gonna be chilling. And that's what he did. That's exactly what he did. Now, I have to say, as I said, he took the player's route. He could have crashed out. He could have been begging for this bitch to come back. He could have been doing all type of weird shit online. A lot of you niggas need to learn from DDG. I'm sorry, I'm rolling my blunt here. We multitasking. A lot of you niggas need to learn from DDG because y'all be ready to crash out over a bitch who done moved on. She started doing her own thing, and DDG did exactly the right thing. Call them bitches up, throw a party, have you a good time, because you daddy, nigga. You can still party. You can still step out. See, let me show you how to get when bitches don't want to let you see. When bitches don't want to let you see the kid, you just got to show her how much not having a kid is, just how fun that is. You just got to show her how fun that shit is. You just got to show her how much fun not having a kid is. Like, oh, bitch, I asked you for my kid, but I can just go out to I could just go out to the club. I could just, you know what I'm saying, book a yacht instead. I can just be with 10 bitches instead. You damn near gotta get a bitch an ultimatum. Like, look, bitch, I can be with my son, or I can be on a yacht with 10 bitches. And after a while, this bitch is gonna be sitting here wondering, like, okay, well, this nigga is just having too much fun. I got throw up all over me. Damn baby crying. I gotta wake up in the middle of the night, and this nigga's just having a party. That's how you get your son, nigga. I'm telling you, she gonna send that goddamn boy back so quick. She gonna send Halo to his daddy so quick. But I really think as well that this is a classic case of letting too many people into your relationship too. One thing you never want to do is let too many voices, too many opinions into your relationship. When you got to think about it. Haley probably got her sister, her mom, her aunts, her fans, her fan pages, because those are the stands, other celebrities, her cast members. I mean, she probably got so many people in her ear. Beyonce, Jay-Z. Just think about how many people is in her ear. And I don't say this as like some type of controlling type shit, but you got to have a bitch who listens to you first. You got to have a bitch who comes to you for, all right, what we going to do next? What's our next move? What do you think we should do? All right, let's break it down. What's our next plan? What's our next step? Now, I'm not saying that you can't go to your family members, you can't go to, but a lot of times these extra voices just add disarray to your relationship, to the conversation, to what's peaceful, to something that, when you're in a relationship, you and your partner develop a language, y'all develop an understanding that everybody else doesn't necessarily they're not going to necessarily understand. They not. Everybody's not going to understand the little things that have developed in the little ways you and your shorty communicate. So they don't necessarily need to be present all the time when you're venting your frustrations, or you're trying to, maneuver through your emotions and speak in a way to your partner, or communicate to your partner in a way that they'll get and they'll reciprocate. You know what I'm saying? It's real important to keep people out of your relationships. And I think that's what happened here. I think Holly let the internet convince her that, DDG was, some person, or that he should be doing certain things or acting a certain way or being a person that he's not. And I really don't get the obsession. I really think y'all got to stay out of people's relationships and let them rock. Let them do what they do. Because at the end of the day, everybody feels like they have all the answers. And sometimes y'all bitches just be with a piece of shit. Sometimes y'all really just be with a piece of shit. But I don't get that from DDG. But the thing is, y'all love the pieces of shit. Y'all love the niggas that's a piece of shit. But the real niggas, which I'm not saying DDG is a real nigga or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know him to that extent, but he seems like a stand-up guy to me. He seems like he is who he is to me. He seems like he ain't faking. Do we all have flaws as a human? Of course. But I don't know. The rumors are sparking up. It seems like people are feeling like Haley might have stepped out. Now, where Brent Fires comes in to the picture, as I said, you know, she somewhere down the line may have been friends with the person, but this is what they always do. It's always going to be a friend. It's always going to be one of these over friendly ass niggas. And DDG probably been on game. He probably know what was going on with his bitch. But at the end of the day, he kept it P. He never crashed out on her. He never aired her out. Even still, I went into his comment section and asked him directly, hey, is this true? Now, I didn't get an answer, but he could just sit here, air this out and be like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? This bitch did this, she did that. Only thing that he went to the internet about and you know, put some heat on her about was seeing his son, which is weird. Like, why would you as a black mother not have your son around his father if he wants to be? When he wants to be. Like, come on. Like, we got to be for real. We got to keep it 100. We got to keep it 100. But I don't know. The situation is continuing to heat up. DDG did drop an album. I haven't listened to it yet, but his album is, I think it only sold about 1,000 units. It did go triple cardboard, but I'm sure there's some good music on there. I'm sure it's a good album. It's just hip hop is not a place for anybody else not named Kendrick or Drake. So I'm not too surprised, you know, by a C-list, D-list, you know, rapper, you know, no offense, dropping some music and it's not going crazy. Everybody's flopping. And I don't think that these rumors are starting to float because DDG dropped the album or whatever the case. I mean, it got his name floating. It got his name out there. But I don't think that all of that is because, you know, that dumb shit. Okay. So let's move on from the from the baby mama drama for a second. Let's slide on to this clip that I have. We're gonna touch a little bit of everything today. I thought this was some real shit. So let's hop into this before we get into the usual Kendrick versus Drake. Let's hop into a real convo, a hip hop convo. Here we go. This is David Banner speaking on the streaming and how we getting paid and how it's affecting hip hop music and how it's changed hip hop music. As we know, Drake has been a big component and been a big player in how, you know, streaming is used and, you know, how it's been built and pushed forward. And, you know, we want to definitely break down other perspectives around streaming and how it benefits everybody. Even me, you know what I'm saying? I get paid every month for streams and stuff like that. And maybe we can have a better situation or a better deal cut. Let's get into what David Banner has to say. And then we're gonna have a little conversation about this.
You think that hip hop still needs a union?
No. I let that sit there for a minute, just for ratings, because we already gave hip hop away. I told y'all a long time ago that streaming was the dumbest shit that we ever did in history. Dog, we finally started getting pennies, and then you gonna let these motherfuckers give us fractions? Watch this; it's gonna fuck your head up. You remember when the white folks went to war about movies? and them streaming movies. And
oh yeah, they boycotted. Yeah, the strike. Right, the strike.
Watch this. Didn't they just do the same fucking thing to music? And none of us said shit? Fucking Prince, T.I., David Banner, Snoop. I told you how stupid that was, and y'all calling me crazy.
Well, you know, and let me just stop it right there because this is a 5-minute clip, so we're gonna pause it at a couple of moments. But now he's making a good point. Okay, he's making a good point. Streaming does, for the most part, only benefit like the top artists, and even them, streaming you don't get much money from unless you're independent. But if you're independent, you're not going to necessarily get the placements on these curated playlists and things like that. Now, real quick, this is why I offer and I do the playlist, and I think even Talking Rap, shout out Talking Rap, I think even he has a playlist. This is why you got to fuck with our playlist and people who put these playlists forward for the people and regularly listen to them. I normally have a rotation, and this is why I tell you guys to go ahead and listen to the playlist, not only to run up Drake streams, because a lot of us are Drake fans in here, not only to run up Drake streams, but to run up some of these independent artist streams so that we can get paid. You know what I'm saying? So it can be reciprocal. Now, when we have a big number of listeners, of monthly listeners on these playlists, we can start to control and we can start to put power back into you artists' hands. You know what I'm saying? As artists, you want to fuck with people. When I say listen to these playlists, when I say hop in and get into the Melodic Ice playlist, when I say get into the Diesel's Doja playlist, and I tell you to hop into these playlists, the shit that David Banner is talking about right here can be curbed if we put power into our hands. We have it. We pay a monthly subscription to these places. Fuck with people who are making these playlists, real people who are making these playlists, not just throwing a bunch of bots on their playlists and not just giving a bunch of bot streams, but making actual playlists where they curate the music, they listen, they put some of the best artists, independent artists, indie artists out here. And, you know, we give a platform to you guys to also get paid. You know what I'm saying? Everybody will also get paid. So again, it's very important. I'm not just saying this to put myself on and to promote my own playlist. I'm saying this because this puts power back into our hands as artists. If you are an artist listening right now, if you make music, this is what you want to do. I am not telling you to fuck with these playlists. Again, I got an episode pinned in my profile right now, and the playlist is attached to it. Fuck with the playlist. We can make sure that we get paid. We can curb this. Let's continue.
We gave hip-hop away. So what you bitching for now? And then they do it to movies. The only reason why they didn't let it happen to movies is because they still making money off of movies. Right. They hadn't sucked that totally dry yet. We had just found out how to create our first mom and pop stores, how to burn our own CDs, even though we was bootlegging. We had just learned, bro. I had just started getting $9 an album, dog.
All right. Understood BDS.
Bro, I didn't need but one more fucking album, and I would have been a fucking multi-millionaire off music, dog. And I produced myself, and we left them motherfuckers.
Now, again, what he's saying hasn't completely disappeared. What he's talking about hasn't completely died. You know, you can still make that money and eat 100% while you're producing, writing, engineering and putting out your own music, promoting everything yourself like I do. It's a way that you can do these things and still eat. Now, what he's saying is right now is, yes, I understand you're not going to eat to the degree of your shit costing cents versus it costing $10 a pop. But with it costing $10 a pop, there's way less people looking at that particular. Like, I got people listening to my shit in Germany. I got people listening to my shit in Argentina, Europe, you know what I'm saying, Brazil, all type of you know what I'm saying, all type of places that it probably never would have been had we not had streaming. And then when you even break it down to how different people in different countries listen to music and digest music. For example, when Germans find a new artist that they really fuck with, they're more likely to attach themselves and go through all your material and listen to all your shit and really go through your entire catalog and really become a fan. Now, these are things that you have to do by studying and learning, you know, the business and marketing behind pushing your music if you're going to go this route. But it's just a lot of fucking work. It's a lot of fucking work. It's a lot of studying. This damn near could be a college course, a college class. Independent music could be a college course in of itself. I'm telling you. But you just have to have the know-how. You have to be able to study the trends and follow them. You have to be able to be, you know, push your music and have the money to work and push yourself and invest in yourself. It's a lot of work that comes with this shit. But I don't think that we're necessarily giving hip hop away. We have put ourselves in an unfavorable position because, like I said, the major labels and the major artists are the only ones eating off of this streaming shit right now. But like I said, this is why you want to fuck with people like me and people like Talking Rap. And I don't know, this just off the top of my head, people that I know who make playlists and make community playlists that you can go and listen to and add your listens to that playlist, not just listen to these albums or these songs, but fucking with the playlist and submitting your songs and shit like that to the playlist. So while I'm here promoting this playlist, your song is getting these streams. Your song is doing these numbers. You know what I'm saying? And this is how we take power back in this economy. We have to start curating, and you guys can do the same thing. But fuck with a playlist, a community playlist that you can submit your music to and you can submit your songs to, and it's going to be people, real fans who actually gravitate, you know, to your sound. And fuck with real curators, fuck with people who have multiple playlists like me, who can put you in the right spot and are not going to just throw you on a playlist with a bunch of, you know what I'm saying, clashing sounds and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Find you somebody who's really curating these playlists out here and putting music together to where, you know, your music is going to really shine and be appreciated. And it's going to, you know, be in a space where people who already kind of like your sound and like your style of music are going to listen to your song and they're going to stick with it. It's going to stick with them. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come back. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, 4 times. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you want.
Bro, we gave it to tech motherfuckers who don't even care about music, who ain't even cool, dog. Shout out to all my tech motherfuckers who give me a lot of money. Y'all smart, but you ain't cool.
Yeah.
Bro, we gave fucking hip hop away. So don't bitch about it now. Ain't no need for a union now. We gave it away.
Under the guise of independence. Everybody thinks they're independent right now using these tech companies.
Cool.
Right.
No, niggas want to be cool. That's our problem. I want to be paid, dog. I want to be free, dog. I don't care if you think I'm a geek. Niggas said I was crazy, dog. I told them that was the wrong thing to do. The God Box failed because I wouldn't stream my fucking album, dog. It's some stories I can't tell y'all about. When people from distribution companies call me and say, Banner, I need you to help me fight on this streaming shit. And then they got cut into the equation and then they didn't call me no more. You know who you are. I'm not gonna put you on Front Street. You still the homie, but I remember that shit. They cut the right people in. They cut the right artists in, and they sold y'all out. Y'all motherfuckers want to be cool and make TikTok pictures and shit, and you broke. Motherfucker, reason why motherfucker always ask me, put out an album for what? I'm grown, nigga. I ain't making no because I'm gonna make quality music. I ain't spending 100,000 or fucking 500,000 like I did on the last God Box album, and y'all niggas giving y'all motherfucking money to these fucking tech companies. That's stupid. And until we as men, we gangster about dumb shit. But you ain't gangster about your fucking money, about your life, about your culture. I don't play about hip hop. That's why I don't do it no more. Cause I care about this shit too much. Niggas don't give a fuck about shit. Bro, I gave my whole life to this shit and this shit was a lie, dog. Y'all gave this shit up to them white folks and them tech companies. Now you butt ass hurt. And you wonder why artists who don't give a fuck make so much motherfucking money. Because you didn't stand when it was time to stand. We let streaming, we wanted to be cool and stream and look cool and all that kind of shit. And the niggas, look, I asked the motherfucker, if you was selling dope on the corner, you was getting $10 a bag, and the motherfucker said, hey, come and use my dope and let me give you 0.2% a penny. Would you do that shit? Fuck no, you'd be like, nigga, I kill you. So why you didn't do that for your music? Just because they give one or two dark-skinned black people that y'all happen to like a few dollars, y'all will sell y'all soul for that shit. That's just some hoe shit. And I also think the same thing socially. Just because when other cultures or people decide that they want to hang black people that we love and respect, we let that shit happen. If you look at a lot of lynching pictures, because I study history, if you look at when black people used to get lynched back in the day, you used to see black people standing around doing nothing. All y'all talk about how much you love Jesus. Y'all let you let them put him on the cross. And he told you he was the son of God. And you said you believed him and you let them crucify him and you stood by? You a bitch. They took our music for us and we stood back and all y'all niggas said y'all gangsters, you hoes. And I believe that with all my life, and that ain't the alcohol. Man, I love this shit, dog. But I be out here by myself.
Yeah, David Banner is talking way deeper, you know what I'm saying, than just this streaming shit. But, you know, and I'm not saying in anything that I had to, you know, retort that he's wrong or he's, you know, not on point. He's 100% right. He's 1,000% right. But in this current climate, there's still ways to win, and you always have to understand and know how to adapt to a system if you still want to make it and if you still want to eat. You know what I'm saying? Niggas still got to eat out here. At the end of the day, yeah, we can say it's fucked up. We can say it's crazy right now, and we can constantly work on ways to improve and make, you know, our position better. But at the same time, we still got to eat. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I gave y'all a few ways that we can go ahead and really curb this shit. And, you know, it's not necessarily going to be this, you know, we're not going to be in this chokehold that we can't do anything, that we're so limited and we just gave up hip hop and there's nothing that we can do. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, it is what it is when it comes to that, but I hope that we most definitely can. I hope that we can most definitely win even without the streaming shit. I think that independent artists more and more are finding a way to put their music out, and I've been, one of the big advocates on finding a different way to put out your music, to put this music out and deliver this music in a way that's unseen before. You know what I'm saying? That's something I really strive for. That's really it to this day. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I strive for, and I try to look and find avenues to make that a reality. So yeah, it's nothing that we should stop. We should never stop and just feel like hip hop is completely dead in the water. We just gotta have we just have to continue to innovate and find different ways to deliver hip hop. We got to continue to innovate and find different ways to tell our stories and do our passions. You know what I'm saying? One thing I always said, and regardless of if I ever made it to the level of a Drake or a Kendrick or J. Cole and making this music, is that regardless, I was going to work in or around hip hop, whether I'm singing, I'm backstage, I'm rapping, I'm whatever. I knew that my place was here. So regardless, it's up to people like us who have these extra skills, and we've done the music, we have a dedication to the music, but we have these extra skills to innovate and to find new ways to make people fall in love with hip hop all over again. You know what I'm saying? And we have that duty. And that's why when bad actors and these weird ass niggas who be trying to separate themselves from the culture 1 month, and then a beef happens, and now all of a sudden they're culture protectors and they selling shirts and merch and shit like that. I take that shit personal, because it's real niggas like us who really been in love with the music, who really are of the culture, who don't take kindly to niggas just trying to play with it. And for the people who do have the power, they're not doing the things like the curated playlist and putting people on musically, and they exploit. They only here to gain off the shit. And it be so many of these super rapidy rap hip hoppity hop niggas. You know who I'm talking about. You know who they are. But they don't do the shit like, you know what I'm saying, the shit like the homie Talking Rap does, which is put on for the community and put on for hip hop, and make a playlist or a space that people can then put their music on, put their music and circulate that into the community. Let people then, okay, I like that. Yeah, let me put that on my personal playlist. You know what I'm saying? Let me show this to the homie. Let me play this in the car while we smoking. Let me play this, you know what I'm saying, when I'm vibing with the shorty. Like, it helps. And we all have built somewhat, especially some of these bigger people and some of these bigger pages. That's why, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, and I'll say it here. There's so many pages on here bigger than me and shit like that, but I literally feel like I have more talent in my right pinky than most of these niggas. When it comes down to making content, when it comes down to firing off the dome, when it comes that nigga, all of this Doja Room shit, this off the dome, nigga. I'm just lining off the topics and I'm just firing. A lot of these niggas can't do that without, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of niggas prompting them, and I don't need this shit. The most views I get is spitting right here, talking dolo. Don't need nobody to be here. So the fact that a lot of people have built these platforms and they do all of this shit and y'all are not giving back to hip hop in a meaningful way. A lot of you niggas is just Drake fans first. Maybe that's what it is. A lot of you niggas is just Kendrick fans first. And maybe that's what it is. Or you're fans of whoever, Tory, Meg, Beyonce, whatever. But y'all not making spaces for hip hop to thrive. For the industry, people like UMG to take control and manipulate. We can take control of this streaming shit. We really could. We really could take control of this streaming shit. We really could have this shit in the chokehold. It's real simple. It's real simple. So, you know what I mean? Like, we just got to lock in for real. As a people, we just got to lock in. And we got to start putting our own spaces on. We got to start putting our own people on. A lot of us in these communities, we fuck with each other. We talk to each other on a daily or a weekly basis. We can do our due diligence. So that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's why I push this shit so much. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I feel David Banner because I would love to be paid more for my music. You know what I'm saying? I would love to be paid for more for my music. There's people who listen to my music religiously every month, and I fuck with those people, and I try to deliver to those people as much as I can because it seems like they ain't ever going away. You know what I'm saying? And when you feel like you just delivered like a product that people love, whether it's 5 people, whether it's 2 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, you know, you got an obligation to those people. At least I feel like you do. At least I feel like I do. I want to deliver. I want to continue to deliver. I want to continue to, you know what I'm saying, put on for the people that support. So that's what that's all about. You know what I'm saying? And we got to do that for ourselves. And we do got to take control of our own shit. You know what I mean? So real quick, isn't there some Diddy stuff going on? I think there's some Diddy stuff going on, isn't there? There should be some Diddy news out here in the streets because I think the trial officially starts today. It most definitely does. Let's see what we got. Damn, they out here patting Lauren LaRosa down.
Listen, that's not a bad problem to have.
It's like we pull over that too fat. It just, you know, it just be happening.
I like this with the costume.
Baby really don't got no. What is this? A get ready with me, nigga? I'm not here to. Where the trial at? What the fuck you getting ready for the trial, bitch? What the fuck is you doing? Niggas getting styled to go sit in trial. The fuck is going on? Said, okay, we got Diddy's mom and children have arrived at court ahead of opening statements. So we about to get the opening statements today. You got his children out here. They are in full support. Let's see. Nothing else really happening. Looks like everything's about to kick off. Says breaking Rodney, Lil Rod Jones comes out of hiding for Diddy trial. Rodney Jones is in line to attend Diddy's trial today, where opening statements are expected to begin after the trial jurors are announced. So It looks like jury selection and all that good shit is just about wrapped up. And they're about to kick it off today. Oh man. Says looks like being behind bars isn't treating Diddy too well. He has aged 23 years in 6 months. Holy, that's crazy. Where they watching the trial at? They got it on live. Let's pull it up live. Let's pull it up live and see what's going on. Cause I'm sure we can get a little something. I didn't know they was having lives already. Yeah, it don't look like things, but the thing is, they're not letting people in. Like they're not, you know what I'm saying? They're not letting people record or anything like that. So we're just gonna have to wait on live updates. Now, I do have a person or two that is trying to get in today, but this is the first day of trial. So, I mean, we're talking about people who have been camped out, and I'm telling you just the reports that I'm getting and the firsthand experiences that I'm getting from this trial and from the people that I'm talking to. There are people camped out 3 o'clock in the morning. These news places, Breakfast Club, all of that, they are paying people to just sit there in line. Okay? They're paying people to just sit there in line until the guy gets there. The Lauren LaRosa's, the person gets there who's going to actually be doing all the reports on TV. Like, these niggas ain't playing. So the independent niggas, the people who don't have people who don't have it to just shell out this bread to have a nigga just stand online for hours and just save your place in line for hours. Y'all gonna have to get a tent, a little air mattress, something, a sleeping bag, some blankets. You know what I'm saying? One of them little stoves, them little stoves that you can just hook a little gas tank. Yeah. They got them shits at Walmart now. Yeah, you can get your little camping on. Well, maybe it's just my Walmart. I don't know. But you can get your camping on now. You feel me? You can get your little hiking and little camping adventure on outside while you waiting on a trial. You're going to have to. I'm telling you, they telling me that niggas is getting it in. They cutting lines. It's going up. It's going up. It's real aggressive energy trying to get into this trial. So, okay, niggas is telling me what it is. I'm talking, it's hundreds of people showing up. Content creators, everybody's showing up here trying to get their content. So it's going crazy today. It's going crazy. So I'm going to continue to talk to my sources. As I've said, I've been fortunate to know a couple of people who've been to the first couple of court hearings, and today is going to be something different. Today is going to be a completely different monster, because this is the first, I believe it's the first day of trial officially. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be something. I think Diddy is definitely regretting giving Cassie that what's that 30 mil, because I don't see what the fuck it did besides just pay this bitch for you. I don't know what the fuck you paid her for at this point. I don't know what the fuck he paid her for, but let's get into it.
Okay, this is pretty shocking. So Simon Cowell says a couple once walked up to him and said,
"Would you judge us having sex? We'll pay you." Well, how much?
It was 150 grand.
It was 150 grand, yeah.
He said he thought about it.
he thought about it?
It's not a bad sort of reality competition show.
Hey,
That's the show.
Hold up. What are we talking? Let's get to the Diddy shit.
Producers, this plugin helps you finish your track.
On some bullshit. What are we talking? I don't give a fuck about the Simon Cowell judging of what? You know what I'm saying? I'd have been like, hold up. How about you give me the 150, I fuck your wife, and I bounce after that. How about that? And you can record that, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Nigga, is you fucking crazy? Like, what the fuck is we listening to, nigga?
So great.
So bad news for Diddy. Cassie is very pregnant and about to hit the stand for his trial.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot about that. I mean, what hope does he have? It's not too much. It's not really a lot. But I mean, her being pregnant is not about to help anything. And like pregnant as fuck too. Like, did you not see her? And you just gave her 30 mil, nigga. Oh my God. But she
It is bad news for Diddy.
Everyone believes a pregnant lady.
Actually, over 2,000 babies are born to incarcerated women annually, but why let facts get in the way of a dumb and incorrect statement? Point is, Cassie being all full of baby could mitigate Diddy's argument a smidge.
What Diddy is arguing is, look, he's a swinger, she's a swinger, and this was their life. This was their relationship. And it's going to feel like a huge leap when you see this very pregnant woman.
Okay, well, this is one of the questions that I have to ask, and I don't necessarily feel too many people are asking this specific question, but if you were in this, toxic, abusive, traumatizing relationship, where Diddy was just controlling you, he would never let you go, he had, he was watching you everywhere you went, this, that, the third, what made him finally just let you go? What finally did it? Like what? And I guess we're gonna find out during the trial, maybe. But if y'all were living in this kind of relationship and stuff like that, what made him finally? Was it just the guy? Like, was it just the guy? You cheating with the trainer? Like, what exactly was it? Like, I'm really trying to figure it out. Like, because it doesn't necessarily click to me if a nigga had this much control over you and wouldn't let you, step out and get a breath of fresh air without, a private detective watching your every move, like, like watching every fucking air particle enter your lungs. I mean, what changed? Like, why did that dynamic change? You know what I'm saying? That's always been strange to me. That's always been like a head scratcher to me. But I'm guessing something like that we'll find out during trial. I'm guessing, maybe. Who knows?
Narrative is likely going to be, yeah, I was doing that, but only because I feared I couldn't leave. I was coerced, I was forced.
And what if Cassie not only gives testimony, but also gives birth?
If you're Diddy's lawyer and you're cross-examining her, it would be a fiasco if you get her upset to a point where she goes into labor.
Yeah, if her water breaks while she's on the stand.
Jason, you're laughing. You're laughing, but that could happen.
He's laughing because it's so stupid.
It's not.
What the fuck these niggas talking about, man? The fuck these niggas over here talking about?
Stupid. It's not stupid, but then again, Cassie looks pretty preggers.
If she was 6 months in February, we're in May now. This is 9 months.
She may be ready to pop.
We're still crunching the numbers, but 9 is the typical amount of months a baby is inside a lady. Yes. So, see you in court, Cassie, and also Cassie's baby if it happens to make an appearance.
Celtics legend Paul Pierce having a long commute to work today.
Do you know what's really fun? Making a website on Wix.
Let's jump to this.
Hey, where Howard is next?
The jury is expected to be finalized by the end of the week. And from what we've seen so far, even getting 12 people willing to sit through this mess is a challenge. But prosecutors are fighting back. And once the tapes roll,
this AI?
sympathy might be the last thing.
Is this AI, bro? Is this AI? No, are they cooking this thing
on anyone's mind? This is no longer about music, no longer about success. This is about one of the most powerful men in entertainment being forced to face his past. And if the government gets its way, Diddy won't be walking red carpets again. He'll be walking cell blocks. So stay tuned, because what happens in that courtroom will shock the world. And when it's all said and done, Hollywood may never look the same again. Let's start with the
Bro, this is definitely AI, isn't it?
Shocking development that's sending prosecutors into full-blown panic. One of their key witnesses, known only as Victim 3, has vanished, gone. No word, no trace, no explanation, just disappeared right before opening arguments. And folks, this isn't just some side character in the drama. Victim 3 was expected to be a major voice in exposing the alleged abuse and trafficking.
Is this real? I gotta niggas gotta verify this shit at this point, bro. A jury has been selected in Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial. Lawyers' opening statements will begin. There's no news of Victim 3 disappearing.
Live outside the federal courthouse.
I don't know what he got going on, but there's no news of Victim 3 disappearing. So, and we're not going to get no real updates until things are pretty much over and done with in there. So there's not too much to break down with this one, but I don't know, man. In my personal opinion, I think that the Diddy stuff, in somewhere along the lines, it became, it kind of became a fiasco. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, and I probably said this before already, but I feel like if you're gonna get him for the stuff that he did, cool, but let it be the shit that he actually did. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it just be this crazy ass pile on of randos who want to come out the woodworks and get a payday. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's easy to believe that he would do anything. He would do some of the worst shit, humanly possible now, so, and that's just my stance on it. I think we should kind of be careful with, how far we let things go when it comes down to just, accusing people of XYZ, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it's some of the worst shit. We should get the facts in order. And once we get the facts in order, we should, we can continue with our days, but we got to get the facts in order first and foremost. Okay. Now I'm rolling up another blunt. I don't know about the rest of you niggas, but we smokes out here. Okay. We rolling up. Okay. We smokes out here. I don't know what you niggas be on, but we really gets it in. All right. He really gets it in. I know Diddy wish he can have a blunt right now. I know he wish he can hit the Doja, but you know what I mean? We're going to put one in the air for you. We're going to put one in the air for you instead. Okay. All right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody like a little freaky shit. There's just the levels of freaky shit. They're drastically different. They vary from person to person. You know what I'm saying? And my brother, we're gonna put some of this again. This is some cookie crumble. We're gonna put this cookie crumble in the air for my boy Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Because I know he going through it. But again, as I said in the last episode, I think he's rightfully prepared his children and a lot of the people around him, who, you know, eat off of him and or most important to him at least, he's made it so that they will continue to eat and they won't want for anything. And I think that's what's most important in all of this. And, you know, that, you know, his children and his, you know, newborn, you know, shit like that, they shouldn't necessarily have to, you know, pay for the sins of their father, because we all know there's a lot of people who ain't paying for the sins of their fathers or fathers. And yeah, so we ain't gonna get into all of that, but let's see what they're saying right here real quick. Oh, not a damn thing. But yeah, you know, I think that's the most important thing. And, you know, he's made a mentality, he's developed a mentality in those boys that will, you know, they will continue to eat and continue to run the empire and, you know, thrive, you know, not the other empire, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully not. But you know, being somebody who's spent time around these niggas and shit like that, you know, and seeing their character up close, these are niggas who just want to have fun, have a good time, you know what I'm saying, set the vibes. You know, they really don't start nothing, don't do nothing. They really chill, keep to themselves, and really just be vibing out, having a good time. So, you know, like I said, what Diddy does, which I don't know everything that Diddy does. Obviously, this nigga is a billionaire. He is beyond us. So, well, I don't know if he's gonna be a billionaire after this. I don't know. Do you guys think is Diddy still a billionaire after all of this? Does he survive this? Does he still keep his billionaire status? Can he maintain billionaire status after all of this? Because I don't know. I really don't know. I don't see it happening. I don't see him maintaining a billionaire status after this. It really looks like something that ain't really, you know, about to be a thing. I'm trying to find some updated news on these opening statements, but it looks like we not about to get too much. Because we can't stop. Oh, they trying to get us copywritten. They bugging out. What's this? The whole video? The fuck?
Of sex trafficking and racketeering. He has pled not guilty, but if he is convicted of all of them, he could be sentenced to life in prison. The rapper, producer, and entrepreneur rose to fame in the 90s, amassing a reported net worth of $1 billion by 2022. Here is a look at some of the key details of the case.
Them pictures got Diddy looking crazy too, but they saying all of this shit is gray now, nigga. He just straight grayed out, nigga.
Sean Combs, who is more well known as Diddy, Puff Daddy, or P. Diddy, has been charged with 2 counts of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, and 1 count of racketeering conspiracy. These alleged offences span from around 2004 until about 2024. 2 of the counts were added a month before the trial, and the indictment against him claims he coerced and abused women for years with help from a network of associates and employees, while silencing victims through blackmail and violence, including kidnapping, arson, and physical beatings.
So y'all think they're gonna get Diddy for all of that? You think he's found guilty? Does he get found guilty for everything just mentioned? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't really know. I don't know. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait till they come out of trial and, you know, opening statements are done for us to, you know, get any real updates on what's going on. And yeah, you know, that's gonna just have to be what it is. I had one more thing I wanted to top on. Now we can get to what we've all been waiting for, the Kendrick and Drake shit, the never-ending battle of Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. But before we get to that, I'll do that last, because I think that's pretty damn, that pretty much sucks. But let's get to this clip right here. I think this was pretty interesting, so I want to go ahead and play this. Let's get into it.
I've been seeing in the comments a bunch people asking about, like, why do you keep talking about the Drake Kendrick beef? What's so important about that you want to talk about it all the time? And there's actually a really simple answer to that. I believe the Drake Kendrick beef is a generationally defining touchstone, cultural touchstone, a generationally defining cultural touchstone. What the hell does that mean? That means that you're going to always remember where you were and what you were doing when the Drake Kendrick beef happened. It's the Kennedy assassination, it's Biggie and Pac's murder, Drake Kendrick battle. That's how important this is. But simply put, I also believe that the reason why this is a generationally defining cultural touchstone is because it's the Watergate of hip hop. I really believe that. It's the Watergate of hip hop. In politics, there's before and then there's after Watergate. None of us, including me, is old enough to remember Watergate actually happening, right? But I'm a bit of a student of history. I've always loved history. It's my favorite subject. I read a bunch about it. I watch documentaries like many of us do. And I mean, Watergate is just one of those topics that is a cultural touchstone of this country. People remember where they were when Watergate happened. People remember how much Watergate changed the country and changed sort of how people saw politics and politicians and that sort of thing. The political landscape was never the same after Watergate. We got a little more jaded as a country after Watergate. We got a little more skeptical as a country after Watergate. It was just a different time and a different situation, right? There were other things happening when Watergate was going on, of course, but Watergate in and of itself was a generationally cultural defining touchstone.
So yeah, what he's really breaking down here is that, you know, and for the people who don't understand and who don't really get the point, is that the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, it has transcended just hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And for the people who are tired of, you know, us still talking about it and still making it a thing, well, at the end of the day, it's the only thing that hip hop is interested in right now. It's the only thing. Like I said, it's these guys are the only ones moving. Kendrick Lamar and Drake, anything that touches it or around that is the only thing moving right now. And that's just the numbers. That's the fans speaking. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to constantly be a conversation because a lot of people my age weren't there for Biggie and Tupac's beef, East Coast versus West Coast. But this was our Biggie and Tupac. You know what I'm saying? This was our Biggie and Tupac. This was that. Now, I sat down and my father sat me down and introduced me to that whole moment, but it's different living it. It's different seeing it. You know what I'm saying? And I can see from how my father spoke about it that it was a moment that was, like it was bigger than them. It was bigger than just, just hip hop at the moment. You know what I'm saying? It was two of the greats, two of the best, battling it out, putting their best foot forward, dropping disses on each other. Now, it might have went to a place of no return, but it was one of the greatest beefs of all time, if not the second greatest beef of all time, if not the first. So this was our moment. Now, on top of that, you have that layer. But on top of that, now we're coming to find out all of these things are going on. And I know I haven't yet given my opinion on all the things, on all the new updates going on with the UMG case. We'll get to that, and articles coming soon. But on top of that, you have that layer of Drake battling UMG, of us looking and saying, well, oh, okay, so you mean to tell me, as I've said in my article, that UMG might have really been the mole in the OVO camp? You mean to tell me that UMG went out their way to promote Not Like Us and let everything else fly? I mean, if you're going to push one record and not the other in a rap beef, if you're going to be out here, giving shit the extra boost, giving shit an extra hand, then we not really beefing 1v1. Like, and this is what I'm saying. Like, these niggas is really mad at Drake for being like, wait, hold on, nigga, y'all trying to jump me? And Kendrick fans are just over here like, oh no, fuck that. He was supposed to get jumped. You supposed to just fight 20 niggas. Fuck that. Like, what do you mean? Stop being pussy. This is what they want him to do. They want Drake to ignore that he's up against an entire machine. They want us to ignore a manufactured W. Like, we're not giving that shit. Come on. On top of that, when it came down to the bars, for the last two records, Kendrick checked the fuck out. What the fuck are we talking about? When it comes down to bars on Kendrick's last two records, he checked out. So what are we really talking about? What are we really talking about? If we really going track by track, track for track, and your last two tracks, lyrically, you checked out. Like, come on. So I'm not about to play those games. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to play them games because it really leads us nowhere. But staying on topic, you have that extra layer there to where, of course, we are going to continue to hold feet to the fire. Because, of course, people are going to want to rewrite history, and we're going to be there to correct it. We got to be there to tell the truth. That's why people like me exist. That's why I do what I do. That's why even before the Doja room, you know, was full on, you know, in the beef and covering the beef. Before all that, you know, I was doing my thing, but when I seen how the narratives were being spun for Drake, I mean, against Drake, I was like, oh hell no! Like, I was like, this platform can be used to play the same games. We can play them same games, but we can talk facts though. See, I love playing the same games with niggas. I love stooping to niggas' levels, but when I do it, I'm gonna do it with facts. When I do it, I'm gonna do it in the worst way. I'm just saying. So I think a lot of niggas gotta realize who's fatigued about the beef, and I told a couple of people, I'm like, look, you might as well stop listening to hip hop then. Like, you might as well leave hip hop alone, because that is the conversation right now. It's gonna be the conversation. It's still the conversation. Lauren LaRosa and DJ Academics are crashing out right now. Right now, as we speak, because of the Kendrick and Lamar beef. I mean, Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. That's what this shit is really about. That's why they really crashing out. So it's such a relevant topic that top media figures, niggas making hundreds of thousands of dollars, is crashing out over the topic still. So how the fuck y'all niggas gonna tell us to stop talking about it? Look, all I gotta say is, as long as narratives are gonna be spun, as long as niggas gonna keep on trying to taint the truth or change history and what happened with that beef and what we clearly saw, because a lot of people want us to ignore what we saw. A lot of people want us to, ignore all the people. He didn't have to go at everybody else. We didn't care about them. It wasn't a 20v1. Oh, UMG didn't do anything. This nigga's only mad because he lost. Okay, we got to be there. We're going to be there every time to correct the story. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Niggas is not about to stop talking about this shit. No time soon. Not until both of them deliver that solo project. And maybe still, after that, we might get another year of back and forth Kendrick Drake chart battle and tour battles. So I don't necessarily, with everybody calling Kendrick out and trying to call his bluff and say that he's about to disappear in 5 years, I think he hears all of that, and I think that's going to be the last thing that he's going to do, just to shut you niggas up, just to make you niggas sound stupid. Especially when that's one of your main talking points. You never give a nigga that much of an easy out to make you look stupid. Can't never do that. But this is why you gotta be on your P's and Q's. This is why you gotta be, because niggas is gonna try to, they're gonna try to flip the game on you. They're gonna try to flip the script on you. They're gonna try to flip a story on you. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do our due diligence and pop out, keep the story straight. We like bookkeepers. It's just what we do. It's like librarians, nigga. We were there. This is documented history, so we documenting what happened. Okay? At least that's how I see it. I see me as documenting and stamping the truth and the facts of the matter, because there's a whole lot of narratives floating around. Let's get to the last bit of what this man had to say real quick.
Right? No one thought that there would be a trial.
Bro, fam got way too much chapstick on, bro. He is light-skinned, so I'm gonna let it pass. But you don't never need this much chapstick on. Okay? You don't never need that much. You feel me? Just a dabble. Just a little dabble. That's all you need. Like, y'all niggas be bugging, so especially you light-skinned niggas. Relax on the the chapstick, nigga. Relax on the chapstick, nigga. You just need a little dabble, you know what I mean? Like, just a little touch up. You know what I'm saying? You don't need all of it. You bugging.
For Watergate, until it was. No one thought that anyone would be punished for it until they were. No one thought that a sitting president would be a participant in this, in Watergate, right? No one thought that. And certainly no one thought that a sitting president would eventually resign his position. Like that seems like not a big deal now, but back then it was unheard of. And what I'm telling you all is that this Drake Kendrick beef, if I'm right, and I could be wrong, but if I'm right, culturally defining touchstone is 100% what this is. And again, it's the Watergate of hip hop.
Yeah, it could be seen as that, and that's the crazy thing. It could be, be one of the biggest beefs in hip hop, but it can also be one of the biggest scandals, because you got UMG backpedaling a little bit. You got them, they kind of not looking as confident as they were when they were, threatening Drake, telling him he's about to regret this, that, and third, and all of this weird shit that they were saying in court. Now, if I can pull a video up, because a lot of niggas be stealing her videos and just be like dragging it with her videos. I don't even know if she be approving it. I'm pretty sure y'all got the okay though. I'm pretty sure. But I wanted to go to that video that she posted of well, she don't really be posting her shits, but I wanted her to go to, she actually talked about how UMG are backpedaling with their words a little bit, but I know I can find it real quick, but I wanted to pull that shit up because it's funny. And real quick, we can just pull this up just to read it. This from the boy Jared. And he says, Dear Judge Vargas, pursuant to Rule 5 of the court's individual rules, the parties submit this letter in support of the jointly filed proposed protective order to govern discovery in the above captioned case. Attached as Exhibit 1, pursuant to the court's individual rules, the proposed protective order confirms as closely as possible to the court's model protective order. The parties have proposed a certain limited changes to the provisions regarding the use of the attorney's eyes only designation. Basically, they want to make it so only the attorneys can see this shit. Attached to this letter as Exhibit 2 is a black line showing the changes to the court's model protective order. The reason for this is this alteration is that the parties agree that this case is likely to involve the producer of certain categories of highly confidential or proprietary business information, specifically previously undisclosed contracts and information regardless disclosure of which will be highly likely to cause a significant harm to defendant UMG Recordings and Corporations or plaintiff Aubrey Drake Graham. The parties submit that discovery will be more efficient if parties have the ability to designate these limited categories of documents as attorney's eyes only without needing to provide notice and justification on a document by a document basis. With respect to all other categories of documents that the parties wish to designate as attorney's eyes only, the parties will follow the standard procedures set forth in this court's template. So, in other words, UMG don't want to show everything that they have, or that Drake is and his legal team is digging up. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want us to see it. They don't want the fans to see it. They don't want that shit coming out. So it's just a shame that this is what we're seeing, and it's a big dub over here. But it's a shame that this is what we're seeing, and this is how, you know, we got to look at the beef as you niggas trying to pull a fast one. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I want to really dive into this shit when we, you know, really can crack this open, and the trial for that really gets going. But I think Drake is about to really expose how these niggas tried to line him up and how these niggas had Kendrick wait on this moment to, you know, perceivably try to take Drake down, say all of these things, do all of these things, and yeah. And then they promoted his record and flooded, you know, everywhere with it, and even now they're doing it. So yeah, it is what it is. But time will tell where this will take us and where this will go. And I think it's going to continue to be a pretty interesting case. No matter how you look at it, it is what it is. Like at this point, the fact that you don't want to be forthcoming and show everything and put it all on the table and say, hey, look, we don't have anything to hide. This is what it is. Yeah, it already is a red flag in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So yeah, that's all we got for today. That's all I'm gonna hit you guys with. As things go on, the Diddy case continues to move on. We'll be here. As I said, I got a couple of people who are trying to get in today, and hopefully things went well, and I can be able to deliver some information to you guys that, you know, you might not necessarily hear anywhere else. Okay. Again, please fuck with the playlist. I will have links to both playlists under this live stream. So I appreciate you guys. As I said, if you've been listening all the way through, it's very, very, very important for us to hold this shit together, and put hip hop on, put each other on by supporting these playlists and putting the power back into our hands. So please, we got the Melodic Ice playlist and we got Diesel's Doja. Fuck with those playlists, and I would appreciate it if you go ahead and follow them, you share them, you give them a like, and yeah, you listen to them to put money back into the hands of independent artists as yourself or as myself, and so on and so forth. Okay, so appreciate you guys for stopping through. Again, if you watched this episode all the way through, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit us with a like, hit that bell notification so you know that every time I go live, you know, every time I drop some content, because I try to deliver content to you guys every week, whether it's just some videos, clips, whatever. We got episodes coming for you guys every week. I at least do that for you guys. So thank you guys for stopping in and, you know, tuning in with me, and everybody who, you know, comes in every week, week in, week out. please subscribe to the channels. We appreciate everybody that has been subscribing as well. That has been big, been helping us out a lot. And the very least, like I said, all I ask you to do is hit us with a like, help us with the algorithm a little bit, and get us in tune with some more fans, some more people who want to hear hip hop thrive and see hip hop thrive, and be in that environment, be in this conversation. As always, I welcome everybody to the conversation. You're more than welcome. Just get into the DMs and we can do that thing. You already know what it is. And also, please shout out to what I'm doing there in the articles there. Please, man. We've been getting a lot of love on the last one we posted. So please, I appreciate everybody who's been going through and reading the articles. If you haven't checked out my articles yet, I would appreciate it if you do. If you do not know where to find it, if you do not know where to find my articles, all you have to do is go on my page, hit the articles tab, and you can go through all the articles that I have here. We got a nice wrap up on the Lakers season. So if you are Lakers fans and you're listening in, please tap into that. We got my wrap up on the Lakers season. Probably drop a little video on that too. And we got the article that is making some movement on X with the DDG and Haley Bailey. I think that's how you say her name, the DDG and Haley Bailey nonsense. So yeah, check those out. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I got plenty for y'all. So I appreciate y'all for stopping through. I got plenty of content for y'all. We can be here all day. All right. So I could be plugging myself all day too. Pause. But yeah, so it is what it is. I appreciate everybody that stopped through. You know what I'm saying? To all my stoners, hippies, and hip hop enthusiasts. I hope y'all came in. You rolled one up. You had yourself a good time. We broke down a couple of topics, and we'll be back again to do the same thing next time. This was just a little wake and bake stream to wake you up, get you started on your day, and you know what I'm saying, get your mind moving, you know what I'm saying, get you thinking about a couple of things. So yeah, and I hope y'all appreciated that last episode too. If you guys want to see me talking about more, you know what I'm saying, topics such as, the Section 8 stuff, or some Trump passing, certain bills, which I think he signed an executive order for a I think it was what was it? He signed an executive order or something, but we can break that down next episode. But if you want to see more content like that, please just let me know, give it a like, and show that episode some love, and we will continue to deliver. Okay. So to all my stoners, hippies, and hip hop enthusiasts, this is the Doja Room. I'm your boy, Dope Boy Diesel, and I appreciate you guys for stopping through. And I'll be back next time.